I'm going to show you how to use the features of Overdrive when you're reading a book. So if you start on the main screen, you can get to the books that you have checked out right now by clicking on your account. So this button right here that says account is how you get to your checkouts. It's going to have everything you have checked out just in a list right here. And you can change your settings by going here. That'll change how long you have books checked out for. So if you want to change your lending period, here is where you do it. You can also change your background to high contrast right here. Or you can change your font. And this is going to change the website font. And then you can also change your theme right here. Going back to your checkouts, you can get your book open by pressing read. So I'm going to click read right there and it's going to open in a new tab. So here's the Hobbit. And I can start reading by clicking either on the left side or the right side of my screen. So obviously the right side is going to advance my book forward. I can also click my arrow keys and that'll bring it forward, move it to the next page or move it back. And anything that's in blue will take me to that page. So if I wanted to skip over all of the authors and stuff and go right to An Unexpected Party, Chapter 1, I could just click on that blue link. You can also get to you have the option to scroll forward in the book by clicking in the middle of your page at the bottom. So where my hand is right here, if I click there, it's going to bring up this scroll bar. It can also tell you what percentage you're on, and if you click, it can count the pages to tell you what page you're on. And if you wanted to scroll forward, you just pull it, and it's going to tell you what page you're scrolling forward to. If you change your font size, it's going to change your page number, so you should be aware of that. So here I am at Chapter 1, and I could bookmark this page if I wanted by clicking right in the middle of my page again and clicking this item there. And see, it's going to add a bookmark which I could go back to if I moved forward into the book. Another really interesting thing that you can do is search within a book. This is great when you want to find text evidence. So if I click the magnifying glass, it's going to pull up this search bar. And I can type any word in here and it will find every place in this book it says that word. So if I typed money, it's going to find everywhere it's written in this book. So if you're looking for a part of the book that you've forgotten and you want to find it really quickly, you can just type a keyword in there and it's going to search the entire book for you and find it in less than a second. That's a really, really good feature, especially when you're using it for text evidence. That's going to either change it from a one-page to a two-page view. So if you have it like this is a one-page view. You can still navigate forward by clicking on the left or right hand side of your screen. And if you click at the bottom middle, it's still going to bring it up. I happen to like the two-page view, but to each their own. You can also bookmark by just clicking up in the corner. And you can change how your book looks by going to reading settings right here. So I'll show you that again. You click in the middle of your screen at the bottom, go up to these three lines, and click reading settings. This is where you would change your font size, so you can make the font bigger. You can include even bigger size, so you can make this very large. Or you could change the background, so you can make it a bright background, sepia, or dark contrast background. You can change the font, so you could go to any of these fonts. You can also custom the font by one that you prefer, Georgia. You could justify left, you could space the lines further apart, heavy weighted, normal, so that's making it bold or not. Any of those options are available when you are setting your settings. And once you've reached the settings you like, you can press done and it just takes it back to the book. And then you can just read the entire book with those settings. And sometimes those settings do follow through to other books. So if you change the settings on one book, it might change it on others. It depends on the publisher settings for each book. You can highlight a word and have it defined also. That's another thing. So if I were to find a word that confused me, like, well, we'll just pick one. We could, oh no, highlight that word. There we go. By clicking and holding, and it will define the word. You could highlight it to save it, and it will put it in a bookmark where you can make a note. You can write a note about it, a thought that you had, or you could also search for the book anywhere else, search for the word anywhere else in the book. So if there's a word that you know is maybe a theme throughout the book, you could click it and search for it to find it in other places. So that's another really interesting feature for Overdrive. That's most of the relevant ones. So your scroll option, your page option, searching the book for keywords, bookmarking, and then changing your reading settings. If you have any questions, you can always email me, and I hope you like this series.